geeks of the world, it's Wednesday. That means it's comic book day. Let me show you what I got this week. First up is Batwoman issue number 13. You would think that this issue would tie in somewhat with what's going on in Detective Comics, which they're currently kind of going through like a Batman Civil War. But no, that is not what's happening in this at all. This is Fall of the House of Kane Part 1, which is somewhat like Batwoman reconnecting with one of her frenemies. Sort of, kind of. I doubt this is going to tie in any way whatsoever with what's going on in the Detective Comics title, but it's still somewhat of an interesting read. Nightwing issue number 41, The Untouchable Chapter 7. It's Nightwing versus the Judge. This storyline's been going on for some time, and I'm really happy that they finally concluded. It almost seemed too easy at the very end with everything that Nightwing has gone through, but still, at least this storyline really shows how strong Nightwing really is as a superhero. X-Men Gold issue number 24, Cruel and Unusual Part 2. Storm, Kitty, and Rachel Gray and a couple others are locked up in prison. So Iceman Bobby Drake is leading his own team of X-Men, and in this issue he leads his team into their first mission, and that mission is for them to go up against the Inhuman Ivan Guerrero. He's like a plant vine growing guy who hates humanity. It was an okay story. I was just more happy to see Bobby being used as a leader. Superman issue number 43, Bizarro-verse Part 2. Bizarro's son, Boy Zorro, is crossed over into the real world, and this is leading into a topsy-turvy adventure that you just have fun with, more so just so you can see the very end of this issue, and that in itself I think made it worth it. Damage issue number 3. I'm really not into this series in the slightest bit, but I did want to see this character take on Wonder Woman, and luckily the cover did not disappoint because that exact thing did happen. DC's really trying to establish these characters as much as they can by bringing in some other characters like Wonder Woman, and in the future issues probably Batman. Actually, from the solicitations and at the end of this issue, they're definitely bringing in Batman. Speaking of Batman, Batman issue number 43. Everyone loves Ivy Part 3. Ivy's taken over the world by controlling everyone who's eaten plants, with the exception of Batman and Catwoman, which both of them launch a plan to stop her, and this involves Poison Ivy's girlfriend, Harley Quinn. It's an okay story. It's more of something just leading up to the wedding of Catwoman and Batman. Thanos issue number 17. It's the older version of Thanos who plucked out the current version of Thanos in his timeline to bring him into the future so that they can take on the Silver Surfer who has Thor's Mjolnir. It's an epic battle, and we have a clear definitive winner at the end of this. I love the Thanos series so far, however, the cover is very deceptive. Finally, I read The Mighty Thor issue number 705, The Death of the Mighty Thor, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Jane Foster, who is now Thor, goes in to take on the Mangog, which both Thor, Odinson Thor, and his father Odin took on, and they had their asses handed to them. Unfortunately though, Jane Foster can only use the power of Thor one more time, and then after this, she's pretty much going to die from the cancer she has in her human body. This has been a phenomenal story with Jane Foster, and I'm really sad to see her go. Marvel may pull something out of their ass at the very last second and try to save her, but I'm not really quite sure how they can do it. But there still is a little bit more to this, so let's find out. But that's my comic load for this week. What did you guys read? Leave comments down below and let me know. But with that, thank you guys for watching me in this. Be sure to check out my Patreon site when you get a chance, my social media sites, my websites, and everything else out there. Peace, love, namaste, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. There's a panel in the Nightwing comic book that came out this week where Nightwing busts into a hotel room, which is just by coincidence it happens to be two guys in bed. And I know that the writers slash artists have to know that there's a huge gay following for Dick Grayson because they didn't just put that in there by accident.